So the contradiction is obvious. The question is, how do we present it? Probably this. Let's give it a bash.
Objection!
Yeah, the music stopped, just like Ace Attorney. Kiss my ass. Commander White, it appears that you've neglected to mention one key detail of the crime scene. Yeah, and what's that? During your testimony, you said that the entire body was clean. I will admit that there weren't any wounds on the body. However, the body was certainly not clean. At the scene of the crime, there was a large pool of blood located where the body was. The blood came from the victim's body, and it was definitely not clean like the commander testified. I wonder if when we present the sword, it's going to have traces of necrotic magic on it as well. There's going to be something about that sword, which is why they're not letting us see it yet. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I fail to see the significance of this. Well, that's because you're dumb like the other judge. I'd like to remind the court of the prosecution's case against my client. They're accusing him of murdering the victim using necrotic blight, a spell which would not have physically wounded the victim. So why was there any blood at all? Yeah, White, what's up with that? Let's see your shocked sprite. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The fact still stands there were no wounds on the body, nor were there any reports of poison or disease in the autopsy. There are clear magical elements in this case. But Catherine Bellwether was bleeding profusely at some point. How else would there be a blood stain on the body? You have an explanation for that, Miss Steelwind? Of course I do, I just don't want to get into it. I'll admit that the prosecution doesn't have an explanation for that. Oh, you are either lying or stupid, and I don't believe you're stupid. Are you going to give us your shocked sprite when we hit you with the obvious truth, or are you just going to be like, okay, you got me? And while I do find the circumstances questionable, all other evidence clearly points to the defendant. Which spell would leave a trace of necromancy? Well, what do you think? If the victim wasn't killed with necromancy, why was there a trace of it on the body? I'm glad you asked, because it was the easiest part of this case. I'd like to present a spell that could have left a trace of necromancy on the body. What spell would leave a trace? Mend wounds! Mend wounds, that's what I said. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a healing spell? Very good, Your Honor. Have a doggy biscuit. That's correct, Your Honor. Spells from the School of Necromancy can control the forces of death and life. Mend wounds is in fact a necromancy spell. Really now? I wasn't aware of this. Now I'd like the court to consider the following. What would happen if Bellwether was wounded and someone attempted to heal her using mend wounds? All of her wounds would disappear from her body. I see.
Objection!
So you did think of it. You honestly think I'm that incompetent, Mr. Cuthbert? No, which is why I know that you're lying. Frankly, I'm a little insulted. What? The Inquisition is well aware of what happens when a mage attempts to save a victim using mend wounds. The healers that arrived at the scene already confirmed that the victim was long dead. Also, why are there exactly the same scratches on the boards behind me as there are behind you? You guys couldn't have just made another image? You had to just take this one and flip it? Really? The healers that arrived confirmed the victim was long dead. None of them attempted to heal her. That's your explanation? That's why you dismiss it? Come on! Well, what if someone tried to heal her and didn't report it? Please, none of the healers would have had anything to gain by doing so. In fact, as a necromancer, the defendant could have easily carried out the described scenario. He could have cast mend wounds on the victim after murdering her to confuse the investigation. That was actually what I suspected in the first case. Not necessarily to confound the investigation, but some other reason. At the end of the day, the burden of the proof is on me. Big shock. But if we could just find out who healed the body, this case is your Valerie! Valerie, it was Valerie! Cough, Valerie, cough! And whoever this healer is, Valentina definitely knows her. Valerie! It ain't yawn. It ain't yawn. Your Honor, I will admit that I don't have any evidence to support my theory. Yeah, but we have, like, a person. We can make them hold a book for 10 minutes. However, I do believe that we can bring it to light. There may have been 2 people that witnessed someone cast magic on the body. We're going to call the sisters and get them out of it that way. This is nonsense. We've already questioned those 2 witnesses extensively. But you cast magic on her butt. If they had witnessed something like that, it would have come up in their testimony. If that's true, then you have nothing to lose by hearing their testimonies. Oh, fine. If you're so confident, let's hear the testimonies. Seems the prosecution has no objections. See, Miles would have objected that. He would have just said, I don't see any value in this, so go kiss my ass. However, this line of questioning leads nowhere. I will see no further reason to prolong this trial. You understand, Mr. Cuthbert? Of course, Your Honor. See, this clears Wallace, but I still don't understand. Oh, crap, it's that guy from before. Valentina, we're gonna become her sleep demon, I swear. I still don't know who the actual murderer was. I'm still saying it's the headmaster just because of genre savviness, but I don't really know. See the necromancer's lawyer? She just got on the stand and she's already stressed out. Yeah, no kidding. This could work in our favor. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. My name? Say Valerie. Say Valerie. Witness, there's no reason to be so nervous. We merely want to hear about what you saw on the day of the murder. Right. It's just that guy over there. He's scary. You mean Mr. Cuthbert? Did this man harass you, witness? Hey, you leave me out of this. This isn't Cody Hackins. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, he totally he touched my butt. He's like super harassed me. How shameful. I would expect a member of our justice system to behave more professionally. Celeste. Shut up. Anyway, please state your name and... Wait, why is this my job? Just calm down. He can't prove it. No. We're going to cast magic on your butt. Also, it's definitely been less than 48 hours because she was murdered like 10 minutes ago, according to the time frame of this game. My name is Valentina Innes. I'm a member of the kitchen staff at the Wyverngarde Imperial Academy. Just don't cast magic on my anus. As I recall, you were one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Apparently, the defense finds your involvement suspect. Look, we're just known for running really fast, okay? That's it. We spin also. Rest assured, Miss Innes, in this courtroom, you will be protected from Mr. Cuthbert's harassment. Now, please testify to the court on what happened that day. Yeah, okay. Again, why are they twins? I was walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in a nearby classroom. Watch, they're just twins to save on asset reuse. Actually, no, that wouldn't be the case because they still have different sprites. Never mind. We looked over to see what it was, and that's when we saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. My sister tried her best to help her, yeah, so Valerie is the one who tried, so she's the healer. And that's why Valentina has the healing magic on her butt. But the professor had already lost a lot of blood. While my sister did that, I used an emergency communication device to call for help. But it was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she'd already lost too much blood. Well, why did her bleeding stop? If your theory is true, that means she just lied in her testimony. She's definitely holding something back. She saw more than she's letting on. We just need to prove that somehow. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. No harassing! Well, I'm gonna harass the hell out of her. I was walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in a nearby classroom. Harass! Where were you two coming from? We came from the kitchen. We were taking a break after the lunch rush. The cafeteria is on the west side of the academy. It's believable that they'd be on that side of the building. What did you see in the classroom, Miss Innes? We looked over to see what it was, and that's when we saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. Harass! Did you notice anything else strange in the lecture hall? Well, there was that Oh yeah, the smell! How the hell? How does the smell factor in? I still don't get that. The headmaster was responsible for it, which is another reason I suspect him, but what purpose did it serve? There was that terrible smell. It was awful. I almost couldn't see because of how much I was tearing up. Maybe it kept people away from the classroom. Maybe she was dead there for like 3 days or some nonsense. Did we actually interact with the illusory? Like physically interact with her in the library? I don't know. Eris was there. She could be screwing with us. Maybe she's the murderer. She could be. But other than that, I was mostly focused on the professor. I should have access to every spell compendium of every person in this case because I know one of you knows some shit. It makes sense. It would be hard to notice anything else. My sister tried her best to help her. I'll bet she did. but the professor had already lost a lot of blood. Harass! She tried to help her, exactly. Miss Ines, how exactly did your sister try to help Miss Bellwether? Here comes the hands up in front of her face sprite again. Oh, okay, never mind. It's the crazy eyes. Ah, I slipped up. Crap! What? What are you talking about? Don't know what you mean. Oh, my sister used first aid to try to stop the bleeding. I see. Could you please add that detail to your testimony? Yeah, you add that testimony. You add it good. She used first aid and applied pressure to her wound to stop. Can you tell us more about this wound? Because I'm pretty sure the autopsy said no scars, no wounds. Harass. Your sister knows how to use a first aid kit? Yeah, it was covered in our training when we first started working. I actually took a first aid course years ago. It was like a few days. First aid, CPR, stuff like that. Interesting stuff. This reminded me of that. I wonder if I should ever take it again. With all the nobles around, I guess the headmaster wanted to make sure we were prepared. While my sister did that, I used an emergency communication device to call for help. It's called a cell phone. Harass. A device? It's an artificery device that allows for long-range communications. It says Samsung on the side of it. Some of those devices are placed around the school for use during an emergency. I see. So who did you contact? Headmaster? I wasn't sure, honestly. I could hear a lot of people talking on the other end. That particular device broadcasts to the headmaster's office in the city watch barracks. I imagine that's why the headmaster was able to activate the lockdown so quickly. I see. But it was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she'd already lost too much blood, Harass. I see. That must have been a difficult experience for both of you. It was especially hard on my sister. I think she blames herself for not being able to save her, sad face. We didn't like Professor Bellwether, but we still didn't want her to die. She seems sincere when she says that. You don't see any dissident thoughts through the eye, either. Yeah, I don't think they're the murderers. They're just lying about healing her. Honestly, her testimony makes a lot of sense. It's hard to figure out which parts she might be lying about. No, it's not. There has to be a contradiction here somewhere. Your theory is that Valentina saw someone use mend wounds on Bellwether. You should focus on the statements that describe how they both interacted with her. I mean, it's blindingly obvious who used it. Come on. First aid and applied pressure to the wound to stop the bleeding. What wound? No signs of cuts, bruises. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, hang on a second. Is there another thing that specifically says no wounds? Bloody, 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 blah. Yada, yada. Doobity, doobity. Hyperactive. They were hyperactive during questioning. I still want to know how that's going to play in. But besides the fact that they're both batshit crazy. General area. Chemical reaction. No signs of cuts or bruising. I feel like this is the thing, because there's no wounds. Also, the arcane constructs. Hang on a second. I want to review this again. Arcane constructs are suits of armor that are animated. They can carry out simple tasks. They use the voice of Catherine Bellwether. So, again, only changed or adjusted by the headmaster. Only changed or adjusted by the academy headmaster. Okay, again, this is starting to point back to him. Also, that we need to look at the construct. Can we find the construct and check its command logs? That's going to be a thing still. But autopsy, this seems like the only thing. These don't list information. This is not helpful. This has got to be it, right?
Objection!
Music stopped. I win. Witness, what is the... Why did it zip over to you? You're not the one who objected. Objection! Witness, what is the meaning of this? Wait, what? Why are you looking at... Yeah, exactly. Maybe I could elaborate, Miss Ines. You weren't present in the gallery earlier, were you? No, I was waiting in the lobby. Lady Steelwind told me to wait there. Well, I suppose I should consider myself lucky. You see, Miss Ines, one key element of the case is that the body didn't have any wounds on it. Ah, okay. So that was specifically testimony from White. Yeah, so? So please explain to the court, Miss Ines. How did Valerie apply first aid when there shouldn't have been any wounds on the body? Ah, no, I screwed up. Yeah, you suck at this. But I saw that wound on her. What happened? What do you think happened? Same thing that happened to your butt. There's clearly something amiss here, but I'm afraid I don't fully understand the implications of this. Are you accusing the witness of committing perjury, Miss Cuthbert? Sure am. When someone lies, they stay as close to the truth as possible while changing minute details. In her thoughts, Valentina said that she was sure she saw a wound on Bellwether. She also mentioned that Valerie was the one that tried to save the professor. Yeah, can we start connecting the dots here, buddy? Come to the conclusion I reached like 3 hours ago. If she didn't try to save Bellwether with first aid, could she have used magic instead? I don't know. Her sister could be the mage we're looking for. Gasp! The witness was lying, Your Honor, but not about everything. Also, if your twin sister can use magic, does that mean you can use magic? Because this is supposed to be genetic. Valerie Ionis did try to save the victim's life by addressing her wounds, but she didn't use first aid, she used magic. No, he found us out! Man, I'm glad this witness is terrible.
Objection!
No, I'm right. I can see her brain thoughts. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but your theory is completely flawed. Oh, do tell. Well, it's quite simple. We've already verified that neither of the sisters are mages. You ain't verified shit. What? Wait, how can you be so sure? During the investigation, we had both the Ionis sisters attuned to a spell compendium. Oh, dick wieners. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. That's a shock. I joked about that earlier. Is this just something the police do? Every time they bring someone into an interrogation, they're just like, here, sit here, hold on to this book for 10 minutes. I see. I see the game. I see the game. I understand. I see where this is going. They didn't have both the Ionis sisters attuned to a spell compendium. The Ionis sisters were running around and spinning and doing nonsense. They had one Ionis sister attuned twice. Valentina did it both times to hide the fact that Valerie was a mage. That's why they were hyperactive during the interrogation. I see the police are as incompetent as ever. That's what this is going to be, isn't it? I saw that hydrate, by the way. I shall drink, but I had to pat myself on the back because I am a very, very smart cuttlefish and I have already worked out everything. Twin magic active. No, I was right. They played the shell game. They played the shell game with the cops. I was right. I joked about it earlier, but I was right. They shell gamed their asses. I'm Valentina. No, I'm Valentina. I'm Krusty the Clown. No, I'm Krusty the Clown. It's standard procedure for the Inquisition when interviewing witnesses. That'll be interesting to know in the future. That's good to know that the cops aren't that incompetent, but yeah, shell game. Then that means... No, I got this, my guy. I got this. We're good. I'm nice like that. That's correct. Neither of the Ionis sisters could attune to a compendium. Yeah, that's right. The Inquisition checked us both. They sure checked us both. Man, I can't believe how checked out both of us are. Man. Neither of us are mages. Whew, that was close. Damn it. Were we wrong about Valerie being a mage then? No. He found us out? Yeah, exactly. We read minds. Her thoughts said he found us out. That means we were on the right track. Valerie has to be the mage we're looking for. Celeste, is it possible for a mage to hold a spell compendium and avoid attuning to it? No, it just needs to be on their person. When I was arrested, the Inquisition also made me attune to one of their spell compendiums. They were really careful to make sure that I did the attunement correctly. There's no way a mage could avoid attuning to a compendium with them watching you. Commander White may be negligent sometimes, but even he isn't that careless. Oh, well, he's a little careless. Now, if you're done, I do believe that you've exhausted all your options. No. We're good. We got this. I'm still not done cross-examining this witness. What could you possibly hope to glean from her testimony? Valentina should still be stressed out enough to see more of her thoughts, but I can't say that I'm planning to read her mind. There's one key element of her testimony that the court is overlooking. Oh, is there? I have a right as an attorney to complete my cross-examination. I have a right to cockblock everyone else. I have a right to just waste time. Your Honor, the defense is clearly trying to buy time. Ah, damn, she saw through it. I might be compelled to agree with you. However, I'll also admit that some elements of the witness's testimony are quite peculiar. I will allow the defense to perform one more cross-examination. Is it the same testimony? Well, that was close. But know that this is your last chance, Mr. Cuthbert. No, I got this. If you produce nothing substantial, I will pass my verdict. Of course, Your Honor. All right, it's all or nothing. If I can't find anything by reading her mind, this whole case is finished. Witness, please give your testimony one more time. Is this going to be a new minigame? Are we Magatomaing her now? How long does he plan to keep me up here? Until I break you! A new testimony. Ooh, Allegro music. Like I said, we're gonna be this. Like I said, my sister and I saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. We rushed over to her. I was definitely surprised when I saw her like that. Now that you mention it, I don't know if I saw any wounds on her, but I definitely saw blood. I can't go back on that now. I just need to play dumb. My sister tried to save her, but she didn't use any magic. Valerie, you're too kind-hearted for your own good. Neither of us is a mage. Both of us held that book the knights gave us. I was caught off guard when they asked us. They almost found us out. This is probably what I press. I'm gonna have to hit them with the whatever the evidence was. I can't remember, that said they were all hyperactive and spinning. they were running around and spinning. What the fuck? Surely the cops must have caught on to that. Surely they must have been just like, wait a minute, I'm not sure we're getting both of them. We need to have them both hold books at the same time. But neither of us is a mage. Both of us held the books the knight gave us. That's what I'm going to have to present on. The commander was watching us the whole time. He can confirm it. It's a good thing that we're twins, or else that trick would, or maybe I pressed that. What are we going to do? Yeah, well, they have pretty hard proof that Valerie isn't a mage. They do not. Valerie is the mage we're looking for. I'm sure of it. I'm just not sure why they felt the need to lie to the Inquisition. And more importantly, how do they trick the Inquisition? Well, that's simple. I mean, they're twins, for crying out loud. That alone would have cast suspicion, but the fact they were... Oh! I can't present information! I can't present evidence. I have to interpret. I've got an eyeball here. I've got an Apollo Justice move. Okay, hang on a second. Let's harass her first. Like I said, my sister and I saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. We rushed over to her. I was definitely surprised. Harass. That matched the details of the previous testimony. I have no reason to doubt it. I think it just wants me to go straight to interpret. We're going to press a bit. Now that you mention it, I don't know if I saw any wounds, but I definitely saw blood. It sounds like you're just backtracking on your previous testimony. I'm not. I just assumed she was wounded because of all the blood. How was I supposed to know that someone closed her wounds? Her thoughts imply that she's lying, but her logic is sound. We just need to look at her other statements. Well, I think we know what statements to look at. My sister tried to save her, but she didn't use any magic. Valerie, you're too kind-hearted for your own good. Harass. If Valerie wasn't the one who closed her wounds, how did she try to help her? I don't know. Maybe she should be up here. She might have been looking for an open wound to apply first aid too. But if we assume you're telling the truth, there wouldn't be any wounds to find. My client would have already closed them to confound the investigation. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's hard to work with her pleading ignorance of what happened. Yeah, she's playing dumb and it's working. Maybe we should try looking at the thoughts of her others. Yeah, it's just telling us go to the right statement and just do the thing you're supposed to do, stupid. Neither of us a mage. Harass. They almost found them out. Can I assume the book was an unattuned spell compendium? Yes, the Inquisition has a myriad of them. Standard procedure. Why don't you just cross-reference those records? For whatever reason, many mages among the common folk dislike the concept of registering. Yeah, no kidding. As a result, many of them choose to hide their powers illegally. Scared. It's a good thing we're twins or the trick wouldn't have worked. It's a good thing they're twins. Did you pull some kind of trick to deceive the Inquisition while attuning, Miss Ionis? Of course you did. Of course not. No, of course you did. We know that lying to the Inquisition would get us in trouble. Why would either of us take a risk like that? Living as an unregistered mage is a serious crime. If Valerie was a mage, you would have been charged with fraud right then and there. Yeah, but we already proved that neither of us are mages, so it's fine. Silly baka des. The eye seems to differ. Well, That seems to be what we're pressing. Blah, 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 thoughts, yada, yada, yada. So let's just go to it. The commander was watching us the whole time. No, wait. No, I think this is the one because we're supposed to be paying attention to her thoughts, not her testimony. So, is this eyeball awakening time?
Objection!
Oh, we're just objecting. Okay. Miss Hyannis, your thoughts are we allowed to say that in court? I don't think Ruby is going to like the fact that we're talking about our magic eyeballs. What? We found the thought. It must have done something, but what? It must have happened when Commander White was interrogating them. Orem was the one who collected their statements. Did you notice anything off about their behavior? Yeah, here we go. From what he said, they had a few quirks, but nothing too suspicious. Quirks? He told me that they were running and spinning around him during questioning. Yeah! Yeah, and now we know why. That makes sense now. What does that mean? I have no idea. Perhaps they were still on edge after finding their coworker murdered. I'm just imagining what's-his-face, the otaku from One Piece, and he's like, ha! I run and I spin! Running and spinning. Her thoughts also said it's a good thing that we're twins. How did the twins trick the Inquisition? Well, obviously... Wait a minute. Valentina switched places with Valerie. Easiest thing I ever had to guess. Valentina attuned to the first spell compendium, then she pretended to be Valerie to attune to the second one. Commander White couldn't tell the difference between them. Should have just done them both at the same time, you idiot. Miss Hyannis, there's something I want to confirm. During the investigation, both you and Valerie attuned to a spell compendium. Am I correct? Yep, sure did. That night watched us do it. Yep, nothing fishy there. Nope, no siree Bob. And how did he have you do this? Did you both attune to those compendiums at the same time? Or did you attune one after another? No way! Does he know what he did? Yes, because we're not stupid. I fail to see how that makes any difference, Mr. Cuthbert. Yes, and that's why we insulted you. I agree. Also, you're stupid too. The spell compendiums would work regardless of what order they went in. You may not be aware of this, Your Honor, but Valentina and Valerianus are identical twins, which means that their physical appearances are nearly identical to each other. If Commander White didn't have them attuned at the same time, what would stop the twins from switching places with each other? Oh, shit biscuits.
Objection!
Object all you want. This is clearly nothing but baseless. Yeah, you're going to assume White did it right, and then he's just going to come up and gumshoe the hell out of it. Orem wouldn't fail at such a basic task. Well, you're in for a surprise. Orem is hiding in the bathroom right now. He does not want to hear about this. Really? Prosecutor Steelwind? Do you find it hard to believe that Commander White would fail at a task like this? Okay, actually, yes, he is kind of stupid. Wait a minute, this is crazy! We didn't trick the Inquisition! My sister and I are not mages! Then prove it! Bring in your sister and we'll have you attuned to 2 spell compendiums at the same time! No, wait! Alright, judges had enough. Wind-up animation. Order in the court! It's clear that we won't get anywhere until we test the defense's theory. Bailiff, escort Valerie Hyannis to the stand and bring 2 unattuned spell compendiums. Well, you guys are screwed. Hi, Valerie. What's up? How's that spell compendium looking? They've both had their hands on those compendiums for the last 10 minutes. There's no way they can fake it in front of this many people. Watch it be empty. If it's empty, I'm going to shit a brick. All right, it's the moment of truth. We can only hope that our theory is correct. Well, are you gonna be cutting Orem White's pay again? No! Did he seriously? You're just gonna slap him, aren't you? What is it, Prosecutor Steelwind? What do you see? I see things I don't like, and I'm going to kill him. What I see is Commander White seeking new employment in the near future. Watch, next case we just have an entirely new detective, and Orem White is just not in the game anymore. That would be amazing. It appears that the defense was correct. Valentina Hyannis isn't a mage, but Valerie Hyannis is. Well, eeny and meeny, you did your best. What's more, Valerie Iones's compendium contains the Mend Wounds spell, which makes the defense's theory entirely plausible. I want that spell compendium added to my evidence immediately. Please, just allow me to explain. We should allow you to explain what exactly. You're an unregistered mage, and you and your sister have made fools out of all of us with your perjury. How would you know what it's like, Lady Steelwind? Oh, we're gonna bite back. Did you think we didn't notice your name? You're not like us. You don't have to hide. Whatever. This whole situation has gone out of hand. I didn't think hiding it would cause so much trouble. And I won't let someone go to prison because of me, even if he is a necromancer. Please let me testify about what I saw. Okay, I have a feeling we're going to get some honest information here, but we are going to get some new information that's going to actually help us start to break this case open. I'll tell you what really happened that day. Very well, but understand that there will be repercussions for your actions, witness. Nah, we're just kidding. People perjury the hell out of the... People commit perjury all the time and they never get called out on it. Yeah, I know. My sister and I were walking in the hallway from the kitchen to the foyer. Wait. What? Hang on a second. Where the hell's the foyer? You were walking away from the classroom. You were walking from the kitchen to the foyer, which I assume is down those steps. Alright. My sister and I were walking in the hallway from the kitchen to the foyer. There, I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in a nearby classroom. Nani? Where the hell is the classroom near where you were? Valentina used a communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast Mend Wounds on her to close her wounds. But it was too late. I closed the hole in her stomach. So we know where she was stabbed now. That will be important. But she was already dead. So she wasn't killed by necromancy. Wallace, you can go home now. There was a hole in her stomach? Your Honor, as you can clearly see from the witness's testimony, the trace of necromancy was left by the witness, not by my client. What's more, it's clear that there was a physical wound on the body. So, this is going to play into the illusory magic, because that hasn't been explained yet. Actually, how did the murderer get into the classroom and out past Yawn unless Eris was lying about her level of illusory magic? We need her to hold a spell compendium. Give one of those blank spell compendiums to her. I'm gonna bet money. I'm gonna bet my magic useless badge that there's an invisibility spell in there. I see. Well, his words trail off. Clearly doesn't want to pass a verdict when there's no clear culprit. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but you can still call my dude innocent. He wasn't there. But he has no choice. The case against Wallace is predicated on Bellwether being killed by necromancy. With Valerie's testimony, the prosecution doesn't have a shred of evidence implicating him. Yeah, but what else do we got to do? We got to catch the culprit. We can't just get people off. That's not very satisfying. Very well. The court sees no reason to prolong this trial. Wait. Arya's going to pull something out of her ass, probably a rapier. With these new developments, the court has no choice but to find Wallace, Nightgrave, not objection. Yep, there it is. There's a weird sprite for you. We're done with you, Valerie. You can go now. I believe the court is ignoring one key detail of the witness's testimony. And what would that be, Miss Steelwind? Let's re-examine the witness's testimony. Valentina used a communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast a Mend Wound on her to close her wounds. But it was too late. I closed the hole in her stomach, but she was already dead. Okay. The communication device that Valentina Iones used logs the time of day during each use. Man, I've never heard of magic leaving logs. That's some shenanigans. From this log, we know that Valentina used the device at 3:04 p.m. Okay. This was an hour after the time of death, yes? Where are you going with this? Mr. Cuthbert, there was a witness who saw the victim before the body was found. Jan Hughes. Yeah, that's true. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found. Hang on a second, I want to get the time on his thing. 30 minutes before the Ioannis twins... Wait, what? Nani? Wait, okay, so the illusory spell, maybe the illusory spell wasn't someone creating a disguise to sneak away. Maybe it was negating the spell after creating a fake Bellwether. Because it says 30 minutes before the Ioannis twins found the body, Bellwether walked past Jan in the West Wing. That would have put her there at 2:30, because they called out at 3 o'clock. But she died at 2:01. She was dead 30 minutes before she was walking through the hall. So was she actually the Walking Dead? Or was she a hidden construct, which is why she was able to talk? Animate corpse, reanimated, and it cannot speak. Yeah, so there was some way. The speech had to have come from a construct, because the constructs use her voice. But it could go either way, because the yeah, there's traces of necromancy, but that doesn't preclude the possibility of being animated. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallway before the body was found. So yeah, she's gonna bring up this time frame. I was cleaning the halls. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards of dirt everywhere. But how does this implicate my guy? It was probably 20 to 30 minutes before the twins found the body. So, is she gonna bring up the autopsy report? 20 to 30 minutes before the body was found, because he knows animate corpse. Why he knows that, I don't know. Why did you learn that, my guy? Do you see the discrepancy, Mr. Cuthbert? I sure do. Maybe he does. Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. Wait, that can't be right. Yeah, there we go. Bellwether died more than an hour before the body was found. There we go. So I'm on the right track. So how did Jan see her half an hour after her death? I wonder, Mr. Cuthbert, how could one make a dead body move and walk around? Well, again, that's one possibility. No, you can't mean... There was more than one piece of evidence that pointed to a necromancer committing the crime. The defendant murdered the victim and used necromancy to animate her corpse. See, but wouldn't that leave a trail of blood if she was stabbed in the stomach? I mean, if she got stabbed in the stomach and then started walking down the hallway, that would have been a rather gruesome trail she would have left. An undead created within the Imperial Academy? This is the new plan for replacing all the employees. We'll just use mummies. How reprehensible. How is it any different than using the robots? They're just meat robots. That's ridiculous. She had a hole in her stomach when the twins found her. Jan Hughes would have noticed that. Exactly. That's what Psymin says. Oh, well, I guess I'll just shut my fucking mouth then. Animate corpse stops the flow of blood, so she wouldn't have tracked blood anywhere. Did I just not read that? Hang on. Did you pull that out of your ass? Hey, that's not in there. You're making shit up. You big fat liar. Well, is there blood anywhere else on the property? Because there really ought to be. The defendant is also proficient with illusion magic. He could have easily used an illusion spell to hide the undead Bellwether's wounds. We really need to check for blood somewhere else in the school then. But another party could have easily used illusion magic to disguise themselves as the victim. If that were true, how did they move the body to the classroom? Good question. So, yeah, if an arcane construct was used as an illusion to move the body to the classroom, or to be the body that went to the classroom, how did the actual body get there? The only thing I can think of, I'm not sure we have, whoops. But Steelwind, if your theory is true, that would mean the murder occurred elsewhere. Exactly. Do we have... Wait, here. Places an illusion on the target to completely change their visual appearance. The disguise moves with the target for the duration. The disguise can make the target look bigger or smaller. Elements hidden by the spell are made invisible. And elements created by the spell are purely visual. You can't make physical contact with it. So what if it was an arcane construct and it was carrying the body, but the body was made invisible? That would make sense. And it would also help to explain the crashing into things. Because if they're carrying the body, the head and the legs are going to be sticking out, and that might knock over the vase. And Jan's not necessarily going to notice that that's how the vase got knocked over, because he's a sleepy boy. He doesn't notice details like that. Miss Steelwind, if your theory is true, that would mean the murder occurred elsewhere. So I'm still up in the air about who the murderer is. I don't think it's the bratty noble. I think somebody maybe stole her weapon. But it could be the headmaster still. It also could be Eris. Would the Inquisition happen to know where? Regrettably, we do not. Well then, fuck you! The prosecution's case against my client is still faulty. You can't convict my client without more evidence. Are we going to go to another day of this? Because I feel like we could still keep going. I agree with Mr. Cuthbert. With these new developments, the court sees it fit to suspend the trial for the time being. We will give law enforcement time to investigate these unknowns. Okay, so we will go further. Court proceedings for this case will resume tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned. Is that going to stick? I mean, I feel like when the judge winds up, nothing's going to stop him. Wow. I mean, we're pushing 4 hours. I thought we were going to do a case a day, but we might have to split this one up. Man, I was looking forward to something real short before jumping into Steins Gate. This thing's going to go to February. Bloody hell. Hey, are you feeling okay? A body is seen moving around an hour after death. It clearly wasn't Bellwether, or at the very least, she wasn't alive when this happened. So what was it? Tyrion? There's illusion magic involved. There has to be. Well, we saw traces of it, so yeah. But which spell was it? Could it have been illusionary disguise? Do we know any other spells? That's evocation, necromancy, illusion, necromancy, necromancy, necromancy. So this is the only one that's relevant at the moment, although there may be more later. Also, I like how they say that invisibility is a high-level spell, but it's also just built into this one for kicks and giggles. Tyrion! Ah, what? You've been quiet since the trial ended. Sure have. You were making me worried. I do that. I'm just thinking about what Steelwind said. You mean about her theory? It's a little creepy when you think about it. You really think someone turned the professor into an undead? I don't think so. The prosecution's case is hinged on one clear fact. That Wallace was the only high-level necromancer nearby. We have to assume that he's the only person capable of using that type of magic. But then how is she walking around? Also, does that mean that this fits in with the window that he was missing when he was with us? Because he was only out of our sight for like 3 or 4 minutes. If he murdered her and then animated her, when the hell did he do all this? I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. It's a given that Wallace didn't touch the body, so we can discount the use of high-level necromancy. No matter what, someone used an illusion. They sure did. But aren't there spells that can create freestanding illusions? Not just disguises? I honestly don't know. We need to talk to someone who knows about that type of magic. We're gonna go talk to Eris, and she's just gonna mess with our monitor again. Wait, didn't Eris say that she was studying illusion? Yeah, exactly. She might be able to tell us something like, if something like that is possible, or she might be the murderer and just bullshit us. Is that a really good idea? Yeah, Celeste is worried about Eris. She seems scared of her. Celeste has been paying attention to our monitor, and she's just like, wait a minute. What if those flicker... Oh! I had another thought. We saw my monitor flickered 3 times. Twice in the library while Eris was with us and we were doing stupid things. And when we were with the headmaster when it looked like she was hiding information from us by changing what we heard him saying. What if the flickers we saw in the library was her starting an illusion and ending an illusion? To create an alibi for herself, which also explains why she chose not to touch the books. Because she couldn't, because she was an illusion. That's why she made an arcane construct do it. Ah, okay. I'm starting a theory craft. I'm starting to get some ideas, but I think we're going to have to wait until next Sunday to see how right or wrong I am. What do we mean? Why is it a bad idea to talk to Eris? I know she looks terrifying, but Celeste seems to know something about Eris. What if she's the one who created the illusion? This is what I'm saying. Celeste is scared. I'm not sure if she's being rational or if she's just scared because of things she knows and we don't. I'm detecting fear from her again, exactly. Celeste, are you scared of Eris? What? No! I saw it this morning, too. You always get really scared when she's around, exactly. Oh, I thought I was doing a better job of hiding it. Sorry, it's not based on anything real, but for years I've been working as a mercenary. When you do that kind of work, you build up an instinct to sense danger. I have a spidey sense. You kind of have to if you want to stay alive. Sorry, I never knew. Tyrion, I fought literal monsters and barely escaped with my life. But when I'm near Eris, none of those creatures come even close. I get this feeling. It's like I'm in front of a predator that I couldn't ever hope to beat. Every instinct I have tells me to run whenever she's close by. Really? But she doesn't seem that... She's literally the ring girl. She's horrifying to look at. Look at this portrait. Look at it. Look at it. She's terrifying. Her thumbnail is terrifying. Come on. Why would you not run from that? Seriously. Anyway, I should know better than anyone not to judge people by their... No, instincts are a good thing. That's your subconscious. That's your subconscious telling you things, and you should be listening to it. Sorry, forget I said anything. If you think we should talk to her, then we should do that. I'm not one to discount Celeste's instincts. Neither is Psy'Min. He's always been reliable, and if Eris is making her scared, that must mean something. But if Eris really is that dangerous, then that's all the more reason to talk to her. But aside from that, there was also something else the prosecutor said. Mr. Cuthbert, there was a witness who saw the body before the victim was found. Jan Hughes, yeah, okay, I was starting to think about, wait a minute, what does this mean? But no, we knew this. He, along with another witness... that didn't quite click with me. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found. So who is this other witness? And if the other witness is Eris, then my theory is sound, because Eris should not have been there. She was supposed to be with us. She said along with another witness. That means that there was another witness that saw Bellwether walking around. Right, Jan probably isn't the most reliable witness. So talking to that other person might help us figure out what happened. But do you think Steelwind will tell us who that witness was? At this point, we won't lose anything by trying. No, I think I know who it is. Oh, it might have been the Noble girl, too. Because she's only shown up for like 5 seconds, so we may talk to her again. In any case, it looks like we have our work cut out for us. So where should we start first? By saving our game and then going and doing something else for an entire week, because that is... Yeah, why are we going to a cemetery? Wallace, what the hell is wrong with you? This is why people suspect you of murder all the time. Episode 2-4, The Walking Dead, Cemetery. Damn it, Wallace. I want you in jail just to protect society, never mind the case. I am going to call that 4 hours is good for a Sunday stream.